Hello fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and we're in front of the town hall, the beautiful town hall here in Vienna, Austria. I'm actually teaching here this summer, and I went to school here when I was in college, and it kind of reminded me of all the great stuff about living abroad and some of the stuff that aren't so good about living abroad. So that's why today what we have for you are the 5 things you're going to love and hate about living abroad, whether it's studying, working, whatever. So let's get started. And you know I like the bad news first, and even when you live abroad there are some bad things. The first thing you're not going to like is the fact that you are far away from your family and friends, and so you do get homesick. You do miss some of those special family occurrences, things like that. I mean, I lived in Berlin when my grandmother passed away and she was very ill, and I didn't get a chance to go see her before she died, and it was really tough. And you know, when it comes to Halloween and Thanksgiving times, you know, Halloween's kind of celebrated lots of places, but Thanksgiving isn't really celebrated except for in the US. So end of November I get kind of homesick, missing, you know, turkey and pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving Day specials and football and all these things. And that's kind of one of the things you're really not going to like about living abroad, is you do get homesick and you do miss your family and friends because you are so far away from them. Now, to get past that, what's really great is now we have all this technology stuff, so you can Skype them, video call them, have those things. Also, you can plan for trips to be with your family and they can come see you or you can go see them. So it's pretty cool like that. Okay, the second thing you're not going to like about living abroad is making local friends. Not that you don't want to make local friends, because they're the best thing. My buddy Alvi, I loved him, and Pedro in Portugal and all kinds of stuff. But guys, meeting friends abroad is very tough, because usually if you're an expat, they expect you to hang out with other expats because those are the easy people to meet. Making local friends takes time and energy, and it is tough, and that's one thing that's going to suck, is for you to find out all the cool things that your country has to offer or where you're living, you need to know the locals, and making those first local friends are really tough. But once you make them, the doors open up for really great experiences. The third thing you're not going to like about living abroad are the cultural differences that you don't really know about. Like, I know Austrians are more reserved, but the thing is, I don't know, like, how do I deal with the bureaucracy? How do I pay my taxes? Where do I go to pay the cable? How do I even get cable? These kind of things like this that you're used to getting at home, whether checking on the website or calling up and these things, you're used to. But here, they're all different. You know, you try to find a doctor, or you try to figure out which post office you're supposed to pick up your packages in. These differences can be quite frustrating. Also, the cultural differences, you know, some places where you must, I mean, in Germany, I'm always, Herr Dr. Professor Wolters. No, you can call me Mark. Yes, Herr Dr. Professor Wolters. It's like, no, I want to be more friendly. No, it's a very professional atmosphere. So figuring out these cultural differences really can be a problem. So to get over those cultural differences, really, you need to do your research before you come. There's these culture shock books that are really good. Read up beforehand. We try to help you out with some of those things. But figure out some of those cultural differences beforehand so you can be ready for it. You know, in Portugal, realize if they say dinner's at 8, it means it's at 9 or 9:30, so don't show up until 10, okay? But if you don't know that, you get really frustrated, so just be prepared for those cultural misunderstandings and you'll be okay. But realize there are differences out there. The fourth thing you're not going to like about living abroad is when you get sick. Because the problem is when you're home, you can explain to somebody, yeah, it's like my liver is on fire. Well, how do you translate that into Chinese if you don't speak Chinese? I mean, the getting sick abroad sucks, because even if it's just getting medicine, I know I want Advil, but oh, it's ibuprofen. Well, what's ibuprofen in Portuguese? You know, trying to figure these things out. Also, in some countries, you don't need a prescription. Other places you do. So you need to realize that that's what's really going to suck, getting sick. And for example, some of the regulations, I taught in Portugal, I had to get another tetanus shot and more vaccines to teach at a university there than I even had to go to school in the US. So it does get kind of annoying. Now, the fifth thing you're not going to like about living abroad is the move. Whether it's the move to Europe or South America or the move back home, figuring out what you're going to take, how you're going to take it abroad, what's worth taking, what's not worth taking, all those things does make a pain in the butt. Also, if you're moving for work, who's paying for the move? Where are the kids going to go to school? Is your spouse going to get a job? These kind of things really put a lot of pressure on when you move abroad, and it can be kind of tough. So it is really bad. And then when you move back from abroad, you want to make sure they still have a job for you when you go home, or a place to live, or find a place to live when you're going someplace. It can be extremely frustrating and may turn you off from living abroad even before you go. Okay, but those are 5 basically, really honestly, little things about not liking living abroad, because I love living abroad. I've lived in China, Brazil, the US, Germany, Portugal. I mean, you guys have seen my videos. I go all over the place and I live all over the place because it is fantastic. So what are the 5 things you're gonna love about living abroad? And the one thing, the best thing about it all is the experience you get. And that's what you're gonna love, the experience of actually living abroad. Getting to see new cultures, meeting new people, going all over the place. There's so many fantastic experiences you get, and it really opens your eyes, opens your mind, and opens your heart to the world. And that's what's so fantastic about living abroad, is the whole experience and how it changes you and gives you a more worldly perspective on life and how things work. And guys, everything changes, from the food you eat, to the stuff in your house, to how you decorate, to how you watch the news. Will really change just by living abroad. That experience is a life-changing experience. The second thing you're gonna love about living abroad are the friends you make, because since you're living in this new country, you really attach on to the friends you do make. And my buddy Alvi from Lithuania, we still meet each other every year. My buddy Magnus that we met in Germany, I'm going to see him next week in Malta. I'm going to go meet some of my Czech friends in Prague, you know, this weekend. I mean, it's fantastic because you make these great friends all over. They help you learn about their culture, you learn about their culture, and you make lifelong friends that you go see. We go back to Vicenza, Italy almost every year to see Fernando and Elena, our 2 best buddies in Italy, because we became such good friends. I was living in Brazil, we met each other there, and you really make friends for life when you are living abroad, and it really makes it a fantastic experience, the people you do meet. The third thing you're gonna love about living abroad are the opportunities to travel. Now, I'm working in Vienna right now, so this weekend I'm going to Prague. Next week, I'm flying down to Malta. Hey, you know what? Maybe this afternoon, I'll head over to Bratislava. When you live abroad, you have an opportunity to travel, and you should definitely take it. Don't just sit at home watching TV. Find a local festival, find the local theater thing going on, and go experience the culture and take the travel opportunities that are there for you while you are abroad, because you never know. That might be the only time you get 6 months to live in Austria or 3 months free to go to Greece, because otherwise you might be sitting at work for the next 20 years and all you get is 2 weeks off of vacation. So take that chance while you live abroad to go see and explore as much as you can. The fourth thing about living abroad that I think is kind of cool is actually, though you miss your family, it can bring you closer to your family. I know my family lived with me here, so my wife and my kids and I, we really got really close living here together, experiencing all this together, more family experience things. But when I was single, when my parents would come visit me, it was great because we were together for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which can be a little bit stressful. But think about it. Now I'm actually spending time with them, exploring with them, trying new drinks, new foods, and having these great experiences with my family. And that brings us closer together as a family. Also, now with Skype and FaceTime and all this stuff, I actually talk to my parents more when I'm abroad than when I live 3 hours away from them, because we'll Skype every day to say hi. Whereas when I'm in the US and I'm living there, well, maybe I'll go see them once a month, and I might call once a month. And if I go see them, I only see them for like 5 hours. Now you really get to see your family and be with them, and you really start to appreciate them a lot more. And that's one of the things that is really an offshoot of all my travels now. I have a much better relationship with my family, from my parents, my aunt and uncle that traveled with me, to my kids and my wife. And the fifth thing you're gonna love about living abroad is when you go back, you get to be that guy. Oh, that's the dude that lived in Europe. That's the dude that backpacked through Pakistan. That's the guy, you know, and you become that person because you have all these stories and all these experiences you can share with people, and it makes you more fun. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's more fun to talk to people. Nobody wants to talk to me about being a professor. People want to talk to me about travel stuff, and living abroad gives you these experiences to share, and that's what's great. And also, your resume looks a lot better when you go talk to companies. Anyway, those are the 5 things I love and hate about living abroad. We also have 10 things you should consider before working abroad or living abroad. All kinds of stuff on our website at woltersworld.com. Also on Twitter and Facebook if you want to write us, if you want to leave a comment, we appreciate it. But anyway, I wish you a great time living abroad. Bye from Vienna, Austria, in front of the Rathaus or the Town Hall. Bye, or tschüss, or auf Wiedersehen.